So this is Peeper. He's this little frog. Isn't he cute? Hi, Peeper. And he lives right in that little spot. It's in the corner of our, it's kind of where our porch or lanai ceiling, let me see if I can show you, where the lanai ceiling hits up to the house. And that's Peeper, and he's been there ever since we moved in here. Hi, Peeper. And every day I come out and see him just about. So that's him. Isn't he adorable? So I'm outside today filming. And here is the pool and the floats and the plants. This is our backyard or our back porch. It needs cleaned up a little. I haven't really picked everything up from when the kids were here still. But this is where I'm getting ready to film. And I love it out here. It's one of my favorite places. That's my bead room in there. And outside over here, got some bird feeders and stuff and some plants. I just love it out here. So I wanted to show you all Peeper. I think he's super cute. So, alright, I'm gonna film this video. Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today I have for you a video using a beautiful scallop. We're going to use this guy right here and a couple of smaller scallops, and we're going to make a pendant and a pair of earrings. So I'm going to show you what you can do. And I went to the beach, so I went back to the beach the other day, and the reason that I went was to collect scallops, but not for me. I'm collecting scallops for you. So I found this whole big pile of scallops at the beach the other day. Now, they're all not exactly perfect, but we have got some beautiful, beautiful little scallops in here. And what I'm wanting to do is, you know, I made the one necklace using the scallop that had the broken piece in it. So, let me find one in here. This one is a good example. So, see how it has this hole? I used a bead cap to cover it, okay? So I did that video, and now I'm getting ready to do a video just using a regular scallop that doesn't really have any holes in it or anything. But I thought it would be really nice if when somebody purchases the shell bags that I have on my website, and if you are specifically purchasing the shell bag to make a scallop necklace, then I will try to send you a scallop. So if you get on my website and you purchase the shell bag, then you can see there's a little place to put comments. And if you will just comment that you're making the scallop necklace, see, here's one that you could just put the bead cap over, and it's really cool. It's got like a barnacle or another piece of a shell on it. But if you would just comment that you're making the scallop necklace, then I will send you a scallop. So I need to know if you're making the scallop necklace with the bead cap. So you're going to, you would want one with a little hole here, so you can cover that with the bead cap. Or if you're going to make the scallop necklace that I'm going to make today and you would want a whole scallop. I will do my best to send, you know, the thing that fits what you are going to make. So I picked up a ton. I mean, these are all scallops that are going to go in the seashell bags. So that's specifically what I went for. And I'm going to go back this week. I'm trying to, I need to figure out what day, when is low tide, that I can get over there. But I'm going to go back again this week and pick up even more. And I'm telling you, that beach is just absolutely fantastic for scallops if you go when the tide is going out. See, here's one. It's a beautiful scallop, so why not use it? You can put a bead cap over this, flatten it out, and glue it down. Or a pearls. You could glue 2 little pearls in there. So if you purchase the shell bag on my website and you want to make the scallop necklace, please just put in the comments that you're making either the scallop necklace with the whole scallop or the scallop necklace that you are going to glue a bead cap or something over, and you could use a scallop like this one with the hole in it. Okay, now I'm not going to pre-drill these, okay, because I don't want to be responsible if it gets broken, like if you string it up and then it would break where the hole is. I don't want, you know, everybody going back on me saying, well, it's where you drilled it. So if you want to drill it, you can. You can glue a bail, a flat bail to the back of it. You know, you can do whatever you want to do. You could glue a bead cap right here, a filigree bead cap, and put a jump ring through the hole in the bead cap. There's lots of things you can do to where you don't have to drill the scallop. But anyway, let me set these aside. Oh, I wanted to show you guys what I found at the beach the other day besides these. I found some cool things, so I always like to show my treasures. So let me see if I can get these set aside for a minute. But look how pretty these are. And I am so in love with scallops because they come in so many beautiful colors and patterns. Look at this one. I mean, they're fantastic, and I don't know how they get made. I want to research, like, how do they come up, how these colors happen, how are these shells made? Is it a snail? What is it inside here? Look at this one. They're just gorgeous. So many different shades and just beautiful, beautiful, individual, unique. None of them are the same. They're just amazing. So scallops are my favorite shells, and I'd love to go to the beach and find them. So let me get all these out of the way, and I'll show you the other treasures. Look at this one. This was an unusual one. It's kind of a peachy color. And if you take mineral oil and rub on these, or you can use, I like to use clear fingernail polish if I am making a necklace or a piece of jewelry out of it, because I feel like it gives it strength. But that will bring the colors out really brightly. And they're just stunningly beautiful. They are so pretty. So I've got a bunch of them here. I was very lucky the other day, very blessed, I'll say, and found lots and lots of scallops. So benefits us. It's going to benefit you too, because now I can share them. And I was hoarding them, but now I'm going to share them. So I'm trying to lighten up on my scallop addiction just a little, but they're so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple that I found that I'm not giving away. I'm going to save for my private collection, and that's this orange one. Isn't he gorgeous? He's just beautiful. He's got a little flaw there, but that's okay. So there's that one. I especially liked, I thought this one was really pretty. And this one, oh my goodness. This one with the orange streak. I love to find the ones with the orange streaks in them, and I hope it's showing up on the camera, the colors. And then this one. So those are the only ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm keeping 5 out of all of those. So those are the 5 I'm going to keep. And then I found some cool things. I found this thing. I have no idea what this is. Looks like a little volcano with the top messed up, but isn't it cool? I don't know what it is. Weird, weird. You find all kinds of weirdness on the beach. I found some sea glass and green. This is the second green piece I found on that beach. And I love the green because I usually find brown and white, but I was excited to find the green. And I found a crab claw. I always bring these home. I don't know why. I just think it's interesting. And then this, I believe, is a shark tooth, but it's so worn. But this looks like the gum line to me. And then it's just very, I don't know, maybe it's not, but I've learned a little more about shark's teeth, and I think it very possibly could be. So those are the treasures that I found. Now, let's look at what we're going to use today. So today, I'm using this beautiful scallop. Look how pretty that is, purple and orange. And I'm going to show you how to drill it, because I'm going to drill this one. But isn't that gorgeous? I've painted it with clear nail polish, just to give it some strength and stability. And then I have these 2 little pieces that don't match exactly, but they are very close, and they both have the purple and the orange, or they have purple and orange with them. So I'm going to use those 3, and we're going to make a little pair of earrings out of these, little stud earrings with a dangle. So I do have these earring findings. These are just flat stud pieces with the dangle loop. I've got 2 of those. I have a lobster claw. I have a couple of head pins for, I'm going to do some of the beads dangling on these little earrings. And I know this is silver and this is copper, but these aren't going to show. I have a piece of bead stringing wire, just a very small piece, because I'm only going to string on a few little beads on this guy. I'm going to do a couple of these orange freshwater pearls, a couple of these purple freshwater pearls, and these are little freshwater pearls as well. They're kind of a peachy color. Whoops. And then on the ones up here, I'm probably going to add a couple more of the orange ones on. And I didn't have any more of these freshwater pearls. I wish I did, but I didn't. So I'm going to use these little seashell beads. Can't think of what they're called. Seashell beads. Okay. And then I have my two clamshell covers that I'm going to connect this onto my beading chain. So I've got a piece of beading chain here. I have two copper colored spacer beads and two copper crimp beads. I do have some E6000 glue, and I think, and some jump rings. And I think that's everything that we're going to need. I am going to have to run in and I needed a couple more of the orangey ones to go on the earrings, so I'll have to run in and get those. But first, let's do our encouraging word. So this is Psalms 103:8. I love this scripture. It says, I'm full of mercy and grace, and I will overflow with love for you. So I love that one. What a great scripture. Just sweet and comforting, and just shows the true nature of God. Okay, so I have a hand drill here. I got this on Amazon. Hand drill. It comes with these little bits, and I am going to attempt to drill this scallop. Now, I'm going to say, if I break this scallop, I am going to cry. But this is how I do it, very, very gently. And I'm just very gently turning and turning and turning. And you can see that it is starting to create a little hole. And I want to be so gentle with this. I'm not hardly pressing down at all. And I'm just very, very gently going to drill through. And you can feel when it kind of breaks, you can feel like when it goes through, you can feel it. And that, I definitely let up when it starts to go through the shell. When I feel it breaking through, which I haven't yet, but it's creating the little hole there. I just thought this was one of the most beautiful scallops that I had ever seen. And it just adds to it when you find it on the beach. This same day that I found all these things, I found a sand dollar, but when I got it home, it cracked. They're just so fragile. It was a small sand dollar, but it was whole, and I was so excited. And I managed to get it all the way home, and then it cracked. And that happened one other time too with a small sand dollar. So I don't know. They're fragile. But I am just drilling, drilling, and drilling. And I know this is boring to watch, but I want you to see how it works, because you have to be so careful and just drill very gently. Like I said, I could take a filigree bead cap and glue it on here with the top sticking up if I flattened it out, and I could use the holes in the filigree bead cap to hang this on, but I really would rather drill this one and just get the jump ring through it. Okay, now, I feel like, did it go through? No, but it felt like it was about to. So I think it's about to pop through, so I'm just being very gentle again. I'm barely putting any pressure on it at all, barely. And I just really want to get a good little clean hole through here. And you can see that it's creating that indentation in there. And I think it has to be about to go through, because there can't be much more shell there. And as you can see, I kind of twist it and then I twist back and forth. And that just helps get through the shell gently. The moment that you might break it is when it starts to actually go through, and that's when you just have to be really gentle and careful. And patient. It does take patience, this does. But it's getting through there. And as you can see, it's not creating much powder at this point because I'm being so gentle and easy with it. But I've got a good, see the little, I mean, I've got a good spot going there if I can just get through it without it cracking the shell. If it cracks the shell, then we'll have to do the bead cap over top of it, but I'm hoping that it won't. This is the prettiest scallop that I've found. I've found lots of pretty ones, but this one, just with the purple and the orange, oh, I just think it's so beautiful. Now, as you can see, it's starting to come through here. So now I want to be very easy. There we go. I think we made it. Yep, see, there's our little hole. So just again, very gently, going to pop it all the way through. Very, very gently. Yep. I do not rush it, not with something special like this. I am taking my time. There we go. It's getting through there. There's the hole. And I could kind of go in from this side a little bit. There. Okay. So now we have our little hole. Just trying to round it out a little bit more there. Okay. So see? Can you see it? Right there. We made it. Gently, and patience and gentleness wins the race in this one. Now, I need to find a jump ring that's kind of thin. Let's see. It's not a huge, this one may work. Let me try that one and see if it'll work. You don't want to break it putting the jump ring through either, so you just have to be real careful. Let me scoot this stuff back here. And let's try this jump ring. I like to open the jump ring up pretty far because it's going to need to go in, you know, and kind of circle around here. So I open it up pretty far and then I'll close it back. And this one I think will work. There we go. So that's how you drill it. We have our beautiful little shell now hung on this little jump ring. You do want to make sure that your jump ring is closed really well. Okay, just like that. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to take my E6000 and I'm going to glue these studs on these shells just so they can be drying. So I'm going to take my E6000 tube here, and I am just going to fill this shell pretty full of the E6000. So just like that. Again, it's going to give stability to the shell to have quite a bit of glue in there, and it's going to hold the little stud in. So I'm making sure when I put the stud here that the loop hangs down just a little there, okay, and that we are centered in the shell, just like that. Woo, I'm getting E6000 on me. All right, let's do the same thing over here. And again, you just want to make sure that it's centered in the shell and that your little loop hangs down enough past the edge of the shell that you can get your whatever you're going to hang through there. So I'm just going to set those aside and let them set up for a minute. It takes E6000 about 20 minutes to set up and a good 24 hours to cure completely. Okay, so now we're going to work on our necklace. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this in the middle because that's where I'm going to want him to hang. And then let's see how we want to do this. So I may use a couple of those on there too. I don't know. I think I will do these little light orange ones first. And I didn't want to use a whole lot of beads on this. I just wanted a couple really just to kind of accent the colors of the shell. But I did not want to do a big, huge amount because this shell is so beautiful. I didn't want to do anything to take away from it being the centerpiece here. I'm going to do the spacer beads next. And then these purple little freshwater pearls. I love these little freshwater pearls. They're so pretty. And then I'll go ahead and do these two orange ones. And that's going to be it for the beading. I'm not going to do anything else on here. I just want it very simple, just like that. Now, the way I'm going to close this off is by using this clamshell connector. And by doing that, I'm going to put the clamshell on. So the bead stringing wire goes through the bottom. And then you take your little crimp bead, and I'm going to scoop my crimp bead up to, you know, leave just a teeny little bit of the chain or the wire sticking out. I'm going to flatten that crimp bead, and then I'm going to take this guy, and I am going to go ahead and put a little bit of E6000 in here just to give it some security. You don't have to do this at all, but I like to, especially since I have it laying here. So I'm just going to coat this little crimp really good with it. And then I'm just going to put my clamshell up over top of that crimp and close it. And that is going to create a very secure connection, okay? So I'm going to do the other side the same way. And I need to trim this way down. Here's my cutters. I did not need too much of the wire. Okay, so I'm going to put my little clamshell on. And then my little crimp. Going to let that crimp fall down because, you know, you don't want any loose wire here. I'm just making sure that there's nothing gapping, but I'm also not pushing real tight. I'm giving it enough room to just, you know, lay naturally, but not, you know, be too stick straight or tight. And definitely don't want to have any gaps in your wire, but I'm trying to get this to where I can get in there with my crimping pliers. Your crimping pliers, you don't need them for this. I'm only using these because they have such a fine little tip on the end. Okay, so making sure that everything is, and just crimping that down. Yeah, they have such a fine little tip on the end that you can get into intricate tiny places, but you don't need to crimp this bead correctly. You just really need to smash it down on the wire, because all it's doing is holding your clamshell on. It's not separating, you know, like when you crimp two pieces of wire together. So, and I'm going to trim that just a little. My poor cutters are so dull. I've got to get new ones. I know I say that like every video. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of the glue again and coat that little crimp in there. That just gives it an extra little level of security, and I don't want to ever lose this necklace because I love this scallop, so I want to be sure that it's very secure. So there is our little element that's going to be the focal of the necklace. I really like the simplicity of it. So pretty. Okay, so there that is. Now, the thing that I did not do was, I crimped that closed, but I did not bring any crimp beads out for this. So I'm gonna need, let's see, how do I want to do this? I could do a little connection here, but I really don't want to. I just want this simple. But you know what? I may get regular chain because I hate to have to do another of these. I guess I could do another connection. I don't know why I didn't figure that in when I was picking this stuff out this morning. Probably because I'm tired. I could do another connection, or I could get a small chain. Let me go see what I have and get the orange beads for the earrings, because we're going to need those anyway. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I came up with a solution. I'm going to use some leather, and I'm going to create a barrel knot right here. And then I'm going to finish it off at the top with these two little fold over cord ends. So this is 0.5 millimeter leather. And I need to figure out how long I want this to be. So I'm going to go ahead and create the barrel knot on this end, and then I'll measure. So to do that, I'm going to put the leather right through this little hole on my clamshell. And I'm coming up, I don't want to make a really big barrel knot, just a small one, but I want to have enough to do it, and I'm not real good at these, so I don't know, I'm coming up about probably 3.5 inches there. And I've got a noodle bead, and I'm putting it in between these two pieces of leather and just holding them. And now I'm going to start wrapping, and I start wrapping towards this inside piece, and then I want to go down, and I want to wrap about, I'd like to get about 3 full wraps around if I can. So there's 2, here's 3. Okay, and then I'm going to go up through the middle of this noodle. Did I get enough? I got 3 full wraps. I've got glue on my finger too. Sorry if you can see it. It's E6000 on my finger, my thumb. Okay, and I'm just pushing this up through this noodle. And then when I pull this noodle, it brings that up through the middle. And then I'm just going to pull it tight. Okay, and I'm just going to work it. This little barrel knot, I pull this one tight and I pull this one tight, and I'm just going to gently work it down because I want it to be very neat. And there we go. There's a very neat little barrel knot. Move it down a little bit more, and that is right how I want it to go. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to trim it off, just right above there. And there we have a really cute little barrel knot. Now, I like to take a little glue and dab on the end of that as well. Just right here. It dries clear, so it's not going to show. And I just don't want the barrel to come undone. I don't think it will, but still, I'm paranoid. So I like to add a little glue. Okay, now we're going to do the other side, but I've got to measure and figure out how long I want this to be. So this is a necklace that I would want to hang up pretty far up on my collarbone. I don't want it to be too long, so I'm probably going to trim this. Oh no, I've got my seashell in my glue. There we go, on my plier. I'm going to probably trim this about, I don't know, I'd say this is about 10 inches. I don't have my ruler out here with me, but I'd say 10 inches. And I'm going to leave it at that, and then I can add an extender if I need to. And so I'm going to do the same thing over here with the barrel. Going right through. May have to trim that a little. There we go. Right through there. Come on now. The other guy went through. I know you will. There we go. Okay, and same thing. I'm going to come up and just create the little knot. Let me do this. Make sure I've got this the right way. I like to do it a certain way because that's how I learned, and so I always like the little shorter thread cord to be on this side, and I wrap this way. So one, I don't know, I'm weird. It may not make any difference, but to me it is easier. Oops, except for I'm losing it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's 3 full wraps. And then making sure that this is still in the middle, this noodle. And I'm going to go right up through the middle here. I didn't leave as much leather this time, but I hate to waste it. But You do have to get up through there. The best person to watch to learn barrel knots is Kelly's Bead Boutique, and I watch her. She does really great barrel knots, but I'm still not as accomplished as she is, as much as I've watched. Okay, but I have learned the basics of them from her. I'm just not the best at it. All right, just going to tighten this one down. There we go. I think that it does take patience and practice, and you have to really be patient with it. And I don't want this one to be down so far, so let me see if I can maneuver it up just a tad. There we go. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, they look pretty even. All right. Pulling it, making sure it's really tight in there. Okay. And then I'm just going to trim this one. And again, I don't know if the glue is necessary, but it just makes me feel better. So I'm using it. Just gives me a sense of security, so there we go. Okay, so that's this part. Now, I'm going to cut my leather the same on this side. And here's what we have so far. Very, very delicate, and that's what I want. So now, get this glue off of me. We're going to finish it here, and we're just going to take these little cord ends. These are teeny tiny fold over cord ends. I think I just ordered them from Amazon. And I'm going to lay the leather in it right here. I kind of grab the very tip of the leather with my fingernail if I can and hold it. And then you just take these little sides and just fold them over. So there's one. Flip it around. And fold that one down. And these grip the leather pretty good. I've never had them come undone. They're very secure in there once you get those little sides folded down. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay. And again, just folding these little pieces over on the sides of this and kind of smushing them down. There we go. Why did my camera screen suddenly go so dark? Huh, maybe it's not. It just looks to me like it did. Okay, so here we have it. Now, I'm going to hook on my lobster clasp with a jump ring. Okay, just like that. And then I like to find a little bit thicker, bigger ring for the lobster to clasp onto. I put all my jump rings in together. I know that would drive a lot of people nuts, but I can just get in here and find what I need by just laying them out on the table. And I don't see a bigger, thicker one though, so we're just going to go with this one. It can clasp onto that one just fine. All right. So there we have our cute little necklace. Oh my goodness, I love the scallop so much. And I think that the barrel knots are actually good. Let me just straighten that out. Yeah, I think that ended up being good. So let me put these away and we'll finish the earrings. They just take a second. Because they're posts, we don't even need an ear wire. So here they are. Now this E6000 has not completely set up, of course, but you know, I'm just gonna let it, I'm gonna be very gentle here and let it get set, but it'll continue to cure. You wouldn't want to wear these until, gosh, I would say tomorrow, you know, 24 hours at the earliest, okay? So I'm just going to take a little head pin. Oh, please let these, oh good, okay, I was getting worried. I thought, please don't tell me those won't fit on there. These are ball head pins, so they're fairly thin. But freshwater pearls have such tiny little holes, I was kind of worried there. Okay, and we're just going to make a wrapped loop. So I'm going to take this head pin, I'm going to bend it 90 degrees. Whoops. Come up from my bead just a tad and bend it 90 degrees. Then I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going up and around. Rotate these up. Come on around. And we've got a little loop here. I'm going to take my bent nose pliers and grab that loop very firmly. And if you wanted to put these directly on there, you would do it right now before you wrap this loop, but I'm just going to hook them on with a small jump ring. So I'm just going to wrap around here, making a nice messy little loop. I like to use the messy wrap in boho and nautical and stuff like that. So this is perfect for the messy wrap. There's one. We're going to do the same thing on this one. Bending it 90 degrees. Coming up and over and rotating up. Same exact thing. Make a nice little wrap. And trim it off. All right, so there we have two little messy wraps, and I'm just going to take a small jump ring. I've got some little 3 and 4 millimeter ones in here. Grab one of those. And just very gently, because like I said, this hasn't cured yet, I'm just going to hook this on, and then I will let these dry for a good 24 hours, these little earrings. But see, that's what it's going to make. Isn't that beautiful? Just a gorgeous little earring using a scallop, a tiny scallop. And a lot of people, you know, they go to the beach and they don't want to pick these little things up. They want to pick up just the big shells. And I'm thinking these little things make such beautiful little pieces of jewelry, little accents on other things, little earrings. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. And if you didn't want the dangle on this, you could just do the scallop just by itself. But look how pretty those are. Oh, they're gorgeous. So here, oh, that glue's still tacky. So here are our earrings and our necklace. And I will put this on and model it, but it's going to have to wait until it dries a little. And that bead keeps spinning around and showing that little chipped flaw piece. So if you have something like that that happens, again, your glue, you can use this glue. I just glued my jump ring to my finger. Take this glue, just a little bit, but see how this bead, every time I pick this necklace up, he wants to spin around. There's a little chipped place in the paint there. I'm going to go to the back, put a little dab of glue between those two beads, spin him to where I want him to lay, and let that dry for a while. And when it dries, he won't spin around to the front again. Okay? So there you have it. That is one quick and easy way to make a pendant and earrings out of a scallop. And so I do have the shell bags available on my website. If you want to order them to make this necklace, then just let me know in the comments on the website, not on this video, in the comments on the website when you place your order, okay? I cannot, I can't go back and forth between this video comments and orders, okay? You have to put it on your order comments. That would just be way too difficult for me to keep track of. So order comments, okay? If you don't do it, then I can't help it. I'm not responsible for that. But if you put it in the comments on the orders, I will try to send you a scallop. Now, I can't guarantee size and I can't guarantee color, but I will send you a scallop that would work for this necklace, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. I enjoy going to the beach, and I was so excited to get to find a bunch of scallops to include in these bags. Yeah, so I'm loving it. And I would have gone back to the beach today, but I burned my leg on the motorcycle yesterday, and I would show y'all this blister, but it is freaking horrible looking. It's about the size of a silver dollar, and it's going to be bad if it breaks. So I don't want to go to the beach and take the chance on breaking this blister and getting sand in it or something. So I'm staying home until it heals up a little bit. Bummer. But anyway. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.